center field. Going back is Gonzalez. It is gone! Two-run home run by Schwarber. Stays put, and there's a high fly ball. Deep right field. Harper watches it fly.
And we're back for another post-deadline podcast. Plenty to talk about, as always. Trade deadline came and went. Some changes are going on in Philadelphia right now. Some offensive changes, some bullpen changes, some vibe changes, maybe. I guess that's up to who you ask. But other than that, how you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a really fun week since the deadline, following all those rumors and then making some splashes and seeing instant results is pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know it was a very hectic trade deadline. There were a lot of names mentioned, but we finally have our guys. Ended up being two guys. That's it. Simple trade deadline this year by our standards. Went out and got the big reliever we were talking about, and went out and got the right-handed outfielder that we were talking about. Pretty much knew the plan from the start. It was just a matter of who we actually went out and got.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get into those guys first. I think that's kind of the big news. Johan Duran.
Johan,
pronounced Johan. Former Twins closer. He's awesome, dude. I was surprised when they went out and got somebody of that caliber. He's literally top 5 arm in baseball. Not tight pitcher, just quality of arm.
Yeah.
The guy throws 104 at his best. He's been very, very good as a closer in Minnesota. He has postseason experience. He's controllable. And he checks all the boxes. And that is kind of the subplot of the past couple of years is we get guys that check some of the boxes. You know, we have some of the guys we brought over in the past have had questions. He doesn't really have those questions. Ever since he came up, he's been a really good high caliber closer for the Twins. And we finally got our guy, and we got some stability in the closer spot for the first time in a long time. This is probably the best reliever we've had since Brad Lidge, and that's saying something because that was a long time ago now. So how do you feel about the move, and how do you feel about the guys we gave up to get him? Because we did give up some dudes to bring him here.
Yeah, we did. I mean, obviously, I genuinely think Johan Duran's the most talented reliever we've ever had. Just pure stuff-wise, pure arm. I don't think we've ever seen a better reliever in pinstripes, and I'm happy that with what we gave back. I think a lot of us thought it was going to take Painter or Abel or Crawford or Miller. It took none of those guys. It took Abel and it took Eduardo Taiit, which everyone's it hurts a little bit with Taiit, but end of the day, the guy is 3 to 4 years away from the big leagues. And I think we've seen it firsthand. A lot can happen in those 3 years of development. And he's not a surefire superstar catcher. So you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a very productive major league hitter one day. That time is obviously far into the future. And we're operating within this kind of like Wheeler retirement window. That's how I like to call it. And he doesn't fit that window, but Duran does. He's a controllable reliever till 2027, which lines up perfectly with Zach Wheeler retiring. So it's perfect by that standard. And it's tough giving him up. It raises a lot of questions about the future of the catcher position for the Phillies. It's questions that we're gonna have to face one day. But that problem's not today. And then Mick Abel, who is he deserves a lot of credit because, if he doesn't bounce back and he doesn't kind of come flash the upside this year, kind of put it together in the minors, he doesn't regain a lot of the trade value that allowed us to include him and be able to get this done without giving up Andrew Painter or Justin Crawford or Aiden Miller. He's going to get an opportunity to run there. Personally, I saw a lot to be discouraged, but obviously there was a lot of reason for optimism with him. He was blocked a couple times. I want to say he was, once everybody's healthy, he's a 7th, maybe 8th option. So there wasn't really a path.
Which is kind of crazy because he's definitely more of a talented guy than that.
Yeah. but yeah, he was blocked a couple times over, and ultimately they decided he was expendable. I'm gonna miss kind of dreaming on the upside and the stuff with McAble, but I'm okay giving him up in this deal. I think it was worthwhile, and I think the Twins do have a good thing going over there. I know they brought in Taj Bradley and McAble, and they have Zebby Matthews. It's kind of fun what they got going on.
It is, and the beauty of it, kind of just to piggyback on what you're saying. Obviously, we have a soft spot for McAble. We watched him get drafted. Me and you have seen him pitch down in Jersey Shore, and I'm rooting for him. And him going to Minnesota, I'm able to continue to root for him. He didn't go to like a division rival or the National League, so we can keep rooting for him. And I'm wishing him the best. But end of the day, I thought that I'm still a little bit shocked that we ended up getting Duran with that package.
Yeah, if you lined up all the relievers that were available at the deadline, he was the top of the list, and they all got traded. I guess Mason Miller might have been the top of the list, but they gave up like a top 5 prospect in baseball for that. So we got someone who's in that tier without really giving up a guy like that. Just a complete win, and anything that he did after that was just kind of bonus, because I thought that really solidified this deadline as a complete win. No questions really about how he's going to be used. He's the closer. It's weird because we haven't really had that. He's the closer though.
Yeah. For the record, I saw the entrance Sunday night. It's as advertised. It's a lot of fun. I think that's going to sell tickets for the next 2 years. Just kids wanting to see that every night.
Yeah. I like I'm a little bit of a loser, but I like the undrama-filled inning that came right after both those saves. Those were my favorite parts of the experience.
It's also nice.
Yeah, so that's our reliever pickup, and then our hitting pickup. Surprised we didn't mention this name when we talked.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
He did fit the mold that we were talking about.
Yeah, Harrison Bader, who has been in the league for quite a while now, Cardinals, Yankees, Twins,
Mets.
obviously, where he just Mets, kind of a well-traveled veteran, which Dombrowski loves those guys at the deadline. Having a pretty good season, all things considered. He has a WAR 2.8. I think he had his 13th or 14th home run last night. An excellent defense at all 3 outfield positions. He kind of checks all the boxes too. He's not the high upside play that everybody was kind of thinking was going to happen. He wasn't Stephen Kwan. He's not Luis Robert. But he fits this roster really well. And, we gave up a good name to get him, Mendez, who was having a good season. And I think we gave up another low-level pitcher with him. Yeah. But, this is the prototype for a trade that, makes sense for us. The debate kind of starts with, there's a couple of debates going on. How good do we really think he is? How much do we really think he should play? Who should he play over? Are all being discussed at this point. So I will just come out and ask you, how should he be used going forward?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question and one that's being talked about a ton right now. I think he is our everyday center fielder. I think the team, the front office, I think we're very, very close to realizing that and executing that by releasing one guy on our team. I think it's Max Kepler is the guy that is kind of throwing a wrench in this whole idea. I think when all is said and done, Bader has pretty normal splits. He actually hits a little bit better against righties. So he should start in center field. Marsh should be in left, Casty in right. And I think that's what we're going to see in the home stretch.
Tend to agree, but looked at the lineup today. Did not look like that's the plan.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about that today because as everyone was losing their minds about another Kepler start, it feels like because then Thompson came out and said these the 6 games after the deadline, I promised the players we'd go with the platoon. It feels like we're kind of just giving Max Kepler his last supper before we end things.
Yeah.
And, feels like a little bit. He's getting some pity starts before he gets cut.
I tend to agree that Marsh in left, Bader in center, and Castellanos in right is the best configuration. I've seen a lot of ideas mentioned A lot of platoon situations. I mean, the thing about it is anybody you're platooning, there's a bunch of lefties, and you don't want to platoon Bader, so there's really no options here. It's got to be Marsh or Kepler. Like only one of them can play if Bader's starting. And I think Marsh is honestly just the better hitter. I will say that I do think that Kepler's better than he's been. For what it's worth, like I checked his stats, and he's having a really rough season, but he's still hitting the ball really hard. It doesn't make a ton of sense, and I think if he was giving runway on like a losing team, that I actually think he would put together like a nice second half here. Unfortunately, they don't. The Phillies obviously brought in Bader as protection for that concept. So yeah, I do think it's a matter of time. I don't think Kepler would be a super good bench option.
No, I don't think so either.
He's kind of shaky at some of the outfield positions, and he very much seems like a rhythm player. He's brought that up many times about how he likes consistency, and that doesn't scream really good pinch hitter. So I do think it's a matter of time, unfortunately, for Max Kepler. Sad it didn't work because I did think that was going to go very well. I remember, I won't get into the preseason prediction.
We had another spring training champion that we thought was going to take the world by storm this year. But end of the day, since May 1st, Kepler hitting 177, 271 on base percentage, and a 326 slug. And Marshy hitting 299, 359 on base percentage, and a 433 slug. So, dude, I think that's our answer.
It doesn't make sense, really. I mean, he doesn't strike. Kepler isn't striking out a ton. He's hitting the ball really hard. I would be
really
full.
That hard.
69th percentile average exit velocity.
Yeah, but the eye test is what matters, and those hard hits are going to the second baseman. He doesn't get the ball off the ground.
His batting run value is -10. I think he has a bit of a problem where he just does not come up in big situations. So I think he ends up feeling really useless.
I don't think it's a feel thing, man. I think it's the eye test just shows that whatever those stats are, he's just hitting it right at the second baseman or the first baseman. It's the ball's not getting off the ground, and he's not producing at all.
Dude, he's hitting the ball in the air 63% of the time. The ground ball rate's 37. I don't know. I can't explain it because it doesn't make sense to me looking at it. I just, I could probably fall. I would probably fall for that if I was like a big league GM because, he does underneath. It looks okay. I just don't think that the Phillies are going to have the patience for it.
No, I agree with that.
So that's the hitter. Johan Rojas ended up being. Did you just change your background?
No.
Johan Rojas ended up being the casualty. Good. I think that he deserves to go down. I don't think he's been playing very well either, and I think that he needs some more consistent reps. So those are the two trade deadline acquisitions. Real quick, we kind of have like a third that's like not really a acquisition, but he's kind of an acquisition. Jose Alvarado coming back in 2 weeks. Saw his apology. I do think that he's going to be very useful for about a month and a half until we get to the playoffs. And just him and Duran in the 8th and 9th is going to be a problem for opposing lineups. Just a problem.
Yeah.
If you have nothing to say about that, cue the music for me. Okay. I don't even know what it's really saying. So I asked ChatGPT, who are the seven fastest pitches ever thrown in Phillies history?
It's the stupidest question I've ever heard.
No, it's not stupid. This is a good question. Could you name those guys for me?
God damn, this is so dumb. Why do I have 7-part trivia questions? Why can't I just have like?
All right, these are the guys who have hit 100 miles an hour.
Damn.
That's what it's looking at. I need 7 guys.
Johan Duran.
He's 1.
Jose Alvarado.
He's 2. Oh, you're good.
Kenny Giles.
No.
Yes, he has 100 miles Giles. ChatGPT is wrong, idiot.
ChatGPT said no. ChatGPT said no.
No. Well, I don't care. That's right.
That's a strike. One strike.
They literally call him 100 miles Giles. I watched it in person.
Let me ask ChatGPT.
No, look it up on
the
ChatGPT is not the answer. Oh man, AI ruining today's youth.
GPT said Ken Giles is on the list.
Oh, huh? That's weird.
It said,
all right.
It said, "Oh, good point. Ken Giles deserves to be on the list."
Oh man, revision.
He hit 100.9. Thanks, ChatGPT. All right.
Okay. All right. Vince Velasquez.
No, you win. You win this one. Congrats. 8-6. Let's get back to the games.
Yes, please.
Team has looked good since these acquisitions have came over. Bryce is hitting very well. JT has picked it up a lot, which is a really good sign. But one of the guys who's just putting together a spectacular season, and we've talked about him plenty of times, Kyle Schwarber has somehow played his way into the MVP conversation as a DH who doesn't pitch like Shohei Ohtani. He's just purely a DH, and he stacks up very comparably to pretty much the perennial MVP candidate Shohei. Leads him in homers, just up and down the RBIs.
Beat him in RBIs by 20 RBIs too.
Just up and down. You look at it and you're like, when did that happen? We thought this was just a normal Kyle Schwarber season, but this seems to be a little something more. He gets better and better every single year. He's such a smart hitter, and he's just always learning and finding ways to get better. I have no idea what the future holds for him. He's going to test free agency, and he's going to get paid at this point. He's going to get paid way more than I thought he would. It doesn't matter where he fields, whether he doesn't field or what he does. He's just going to continue to hit and get better. And I think the Phillies probably should have thrown some really, really, really big numbers at him in the spring, knowing how important he is to the clubhouse and the community. But we're a little late there, so he's going to test free agency. And if the Phillies want to retain him, which I think they should, he's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about these conversations right now. I really think this is like this extend Kyle Schwarber thing is kind of like dominating the whole narrative of him having like a beautiful season.
It's just like the JT a couple years ago. Remember that? That was so annoying.
Yeah, it's like, all right, it's like every time he does something good, I don't think we need a reminder to extend him. I think people really have lost the idea of what a negotiation is. And a negotiation is him having the best year of his career and wanting to set up his family for generations and generations, which he would be a moron if he did not test free agency. With all he loves Philly. Like, he's made that very clear. I don't think it's anything against us. I think any of us, if we were in Kyle's spot, would do the same exact thing and see who would fork over the most money. But, oh, God. I think he'll easily demand a 4 or 5 year, probably at like $40 million a year. So I'd probably say like 4 years, $200 million, something crazy like that. Because DHs get paid now.
Yeah, I think he'll get like 5 at. That's a lot of money. Well, he's going to be 33, which.
Yeah, but like I think you got to look at it like some of these like older guy deals, like how like Verlander and Scherzer did hit their deals.
Like, what's the best comp though? Like, there's no comp for him.
Well, there's been no good example that's in like the same situation as him.
I think the closest comp I would say is probably
because most guys get to this situation and then they want a deal that's like 8 to 10 years.
Do you remember
people spread out the money? But this.
Do you remember like peak JD Martinez?
Yeah. Yep.
He raised.
What did he get?
And he was a DH. He got 5. He didn't get a lot. He got like 5 for like 120 or something. I think Schwarber's gonna get more. I think Schwarber's probably gonna get 5 for probably like 170, 180.
Yeah, I would very much expect the total value to be between 175 and 200.
Yeah, and I think he might honestly get 6 years. I just, it's crazy how he's increased his stock. He's he's the best hitter on the Phillies this year in a lineup with some really good hitters. Nothing really else to say there. Do you have anything else on Schwarbs?
Honestly, it feels like 06 Howard. It's so much fun to watch. Every at bat.
He has a shot.
Every at bat.
He's not going to hit 313, so it's not going to be as good of a season, obviously. But he has a shot at 58. He has a real shot.
No, he's not hitting 313, but I mean, every time he's up to bat, you think he could just take it to the third deck.
313 with 58 homers, and I want to say he had like 160 RBIs. The fact that Schwarber's even being mentioned,
I think it was 158.
Yeah, he's that caliber of hitter, and he's pretty much this team's version of peak Ryan Howard. He's also.
So I guess what I had to say about that was, I don't care about the extension. I want to enjoy this year, and I'm glad that we have peak Kyle Schwarber with this team going for a ring one more time. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Also, something nobody talks about. I guess not leading off is not a problem for Kyle Schwarber. I remember that debate like it was yesterday. I don't think he really cares.
Dude just hits baseballs.
He just hits baseballs. Yeah, like I said, Bryce has been very good. Marsh obviously stepping up lately. Some other guys still haven't really put together a good season. I know Bryson Stott's taking it from all angles right now. He's just a punching bag for the fans, but it's really it's becoming quite.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, he made a game-saving catch on Sunday night in a close 1-0 point in the game. I mean, the guy is doing his best to contribute, and I mean, if you look back at like a lot of winning teams in history, not every single guy was an offensive freak. It's just how baseball is. I mean, look back at our 08 World Series team. Pedro Feliz, like those guys, like they're not all like the guy. Some of them are just there to play bang-up defense, and that's kind of all right because he is the glue of our defense in the infield.
Fair. Trey obviously is going quite cold right now, and Bomer's on the IL. So obviously the infield's going through a bit of a rough stretch, but when you have guys kind of getting hot at the same time, it balances out. Staff is getting healthy for the first time in a long time. Aaron Nola's on his rehab assignment, which is a good sign. I know people like to shit on Aaron Nola, but it's going to be really nice having him back, and the bullpen's going to be very thankful when he starts going 6-7 innings continuously. And then, Chris Sanchez, nothing to say about Wheeler, but Chris Sanchez has also entered an award.
We don't have anything to say about Wheeler? You worried?
Worried?
He's had 4 earned runs in his past 3 starts?
I didn't know that. I've been too consumed with Chris Sanchez's ascension that I haven't really had a chance. I just looked at the Baseball Savant. It's fine. He's 2.64 ERA. I'm not terribly concerned. You?
A little bit. I mean, he's been letting up a lot of home runs and losing some games. And it's not usually Wheeler-like to let this compound.
He has a career high K percentage. He has a career low walk percentage.
Okay, but doesn't really answer the question.
He has an XBA of 198, which is.
I don't care about your baseball savanting me to death here.
He is 97th percentile in xERA. He has 182 innings he has 182 strikeouts in 139 innings. Nothing to worry about.
I know this thing. Okay. All right.
Nothing to worry about. Chris Sanchez, more importantly. Is he a Cy Young candidate? Like a legit Cy Young candidate? Like, would you
absolutely?
Are you comfortable putting money on him at this point? Because I would be. I
think at this point in the season, he should be second in Cy Young odds.
Behind Paul Skeens?
Yeah. He's just been that electric, and he's showed so much length in so many starts. I mean, he's really going far into games, and it's been huge for this bullpen, huge for this team. And I mean, his changeup, I think there's a 300 OPS against it this year. It's absolutely insane what he's doing with that pitch this year.
I enjoyed the graphic that they threw up on Sunday Night Baseball of the best changeups. I don't remember what stat it was, but it was
I
something.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was Skubal was like 173, Sanchez was 171, and then the next guy was like 68. I was like, what? Like, Jesus. Like, it's that good of a pitch. It's I can't shake this comparison just because I see a lot of it, but he's Cole Hamels with a better fastball.
Yeah.
And Cole Hamels is going to go on. Cole Hamels is going to get Hall of Fame votes next year. He might not get in, but Cole Hamels is in that tier, and I think Chris Sanchez is probably just a better pitcher. And I'm always the guy who defends the guys of the past. Like I'm that boomer. I have those takes. Chris Sanchez is really, really good, and he keeps getting better, which I find just incredible because I already think, he raises the bar and I'm like, oh, that's a great bar, and I'm comfortable with that bar, but he just gets better. Now he's doing this over 8 innings. Like you said, he's going deep into games with a high level of performance. Wow. Just super impressive stuff.
The gift that keeps giving, Chris Sanchez.
What an ascension. We got him from the Rays for very little.
Curtis Mead.
Didn't expect much, and now we have the Rays over there shaking their heads at what they did. They're like, "What did we give up?" He's that guy now. He's a national type pitcher that people talk about. Huge development, because I feel more comfortable with him going out there in a game 2 than I did with Aaron Nola or Ranger Suarez. The staff is as deep as it's ever been.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all right there. I think the one question that still lingers with this team, I think a lot is starting to align right now. I think the bullpen is coming together. We have Alvarado to take some pressure off the rest of the guys who have been throwing a lot. The rotation, a little tired, but they got Nola to come back, eat up some innings. What do we think is going to happen with Painter here? Do we think, because I know that there's a lot of whispers about Luzardo starting to lose effectiveness as a starter, maybe transition him to the bullpen for playoff time. Do you think Painter sees MLB soon?
Luzardo is not going to be a good reliever. He can't pitch out of the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, middle's pitch out of the windup. I mean,
what if there's people on setting? Like, you can't bring him in the middle of an inning.
No, he would just come in to start innings.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same thing about him being a starter. I mean, the minute someone's on base, he's not good.
There's questions about that too at this point.
So, I don't know how it's any different with relieving.
I think Ranger's the guy who has to go to the bullpen.
I think he's done it before.
I really do. He's nails in the bullpen. He's been really good. I think you have your top 3 in a playoff rotation. I think Painter gets a look, and that's how you decide your 4. Painter looks really good. Painter looks like pseudo Paul Skeens from a couple years ago. You have your answer. If not, then I think you roll Luzardo out there in a game 4 and just hope that he keeps it together. Keeps it together long enough to get to the bullpen. Maybe space out the righties, space out the lefties. You go Wheeler, righty, Sanchez, lefty, Nola, Luzardo. And then you have Ranger as an option, and whoever does not do the best. You bring Ranger in if Luzardo falters.
So what about Painter?
If Painter pitches better, then Painter's the guy, and you bring Ranger in if Painter falters. That's what I would do personally. Do you see any faults with that approach, and do you think it's realistic at least?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of really confused right now what sort of role Andrew Painter is going to play in the second half, because, I mean, obviously we know Taiwan will move to the bullpen for Nola, and then Painter comes in, and we don't know how much length we're really going to get out of him in the beginning. And I don't know that moving Ranger or Luzardo, either of them will work out well. So I mean, I like that approach that you had, but I personally would probably go the Luzardo route. I'd stick him in the bullpen because I think giving Ranger as many innings in the playoffs as possible is a good decision. We've seen what he can do.
Yeah, Luzardo's just so damn hittable, dude.
That's why I think. I mean, like,
I'm not just talking like your idea.
Like, no. Let me finish. But like, okay. I know, but like when you're looking at him, like he does, like every start, he does have points of being very hittable and then very, very unhittable. I mean, like it goes back and forth. Like he'll have like 2 innings where he just looks he looks like Randy Johnson out there, just ripping that slider, fastballs dotting, and then he'll just lose it 1 inning, which makes me think that would probably translate. Just him having less exposure and not having to face a lineup 2-3 times, I think would probably help him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because then he can just kind of come in and he can rip 98, 99 like he is capable of and kind of fill that Alvarado void.
Yeah, it's scary, though, because you just don't know. And if you bring him to the bullpen and he doesn't like it and he sucks at it, can he go back? Okay, like, is it a one-way street where you throw off everything? Versus Ranger, we've done it before. We know what Ranger can kind of offer in terms of flexibility. I think Ranger has the temperament and the pitchability to do whatever he wants. He can pitch wherever he wants. So you kind of know more there.
Why would you not want more of Ranger, though? Like more innings, playoff innings for him.
Well, it's not necessarily saying you'll get less Ranger. I mean, you can use him a couple times. You can use him a couple times in a series now. You can get him 2 or 3 innings in game 2, 2 or 3 innings in game 4, and still the same amount of Ranger. You're using him in different spots. And you obviously have a very good long man now if the time comes, if you need somebody. And like I said, he has done it. He is capable. Like, he has saves. He's closed out MLB games. Painter, I don't know what the plan with Painter is. He's pitching good now. I mean, back-to-back 6-inning starts, total of 3 runs given up. I don't know where the strikeouts went. They're kind of missing. But I think he deserves a look. Like, you got to give him a look, right? This season, you got to think, right?
But just where does he fit? I mean, Taiwan doesn't look bad, and he's already going to be moving to the bullpen. Unless there's some sort of unless there's like a phantom IL stint coming for Luzardo or Suarez.
Do you consider an IL stint for somebody who's getting up there in innings?
I think, like we talked about at the beginning of the year, Suarez and Luzardo were both guys that we need to keep an eye on because they haven't been able to throw 150-plus innings successfully in their career. And I think it would be a good idea. I don't know. Maybe just a little back thing. Let him give and then give like Painter like 2 starts, see what happens. Worst case scenario, he pitches bad in August, and you can go right back to one of those 2 with a fresher arm.
Yeah, I think that I think they got to find a way to at least know what they have going down the stretch run. If you really think you can win the World Series this year and you have the best pitching prospect in baseball, you need to know what he can give you at the major league. It would be criminal not to. Yeah.
To go into this playoff run not even dipping into that.
Yeah, so just real quick to wrap up. I don't know what they're going to do, but they really, really got to figure some stuff out with Luzardo. I'm hoping a full offseason is going to kind of provide some clarity because you said something that I thought was true, and facing the lineup less would be better. He has a 3.20 ERA in the 5th, a 2.77 in the 6th, and a 1.35 in the 7th, versus a 6.64 ERA in the 4th.
Which actually made me start to think when I was thinking about it yesterday, Luzardo pitched yesterday. Maybe they're thinking about Luzardo Painter piggyback.
Yeah, I could see it. So you still get
probably start the game with Painter and then go Luzardo for like 3.
He can be the reliever there. He has a 5.23 at home versus a 3.36 on the road. Probably need to be talking about that. Why?
A little bit.
Why is that a thing? And I'm just going to read off some of his whips with runners on base. First and third, he has a 2 whip. Second base, he has a 2.28. Second and third, 2.14, and a runner on 30 is a 2.25 whip. Like, this is just, you can't trust that in the middle of an inning. And then you got to find like a spot where that really works. And it's going to take a lot of trial and error. And if they do really want that to be a plan, they got to put that in motion soon because, something's got to give. He's 3 straight months with a 5 ERA. It's just.
No, you know what? And maybe I should be sounding the alarm on him more, but just from what he shows, I mean, it's not a situation of him being bad and having bad stuff. It's him lapsing the focus in the stretch and brief moments of the game where he's not in the stretch. And I think it's more of a consistency problem. And obviously the stretch is more of a fundamental thing that he's speeding up his body. But I'm really not that worried. I mean, I see the way he fights through that start last night, only letting up 3 runs. And he comes out there and looks nasty sometimes. So I'm not that worried. I'm not really worried about anyone right now on this team.
No, that's fair.
I feel good.
I think in off season with Caleb Cotham is much needed for Jesus Luzardo. I think the big question we need to ask is, can he throw a cutter? I knew that would get a laugh.
Yeah, he'll have a cutter next year.
Him throw a cutter. That is plan A for the Phillies. And if that doesn't work, we'll try something else. But yeah, that's the staff. Got anything else on anything really? That's all I got.
No, if anyone hasn't watched the Jimmy Rollins documentary on YouTube, I would recommend it. It's absolutely fantastic. It definitely got me into the playoff spirit, reminiscing from that sweet time period. But no, other than that, it's same old. Go Phils. Let's win some ball games. Let's get a winning streak going, and let's win this division one more time.
Well said. I got nothing else. So as always, thank you guys for listening, and we will be back to talk to you soon.